Allison, thank you for being here, taking the time.
Sure.
Um, we met years ago when I was interviewing to join Ohio State's MBA program. But for our listeners, why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Sure. So I'm Allison Jones, and I work right now at the Ohio State University Fisher College of Business in the Office of Career Management. So I do a lot of career coaching, advising for MBA students, helping them figure out what I want to do when I grow up, how do I get there, and then I also work with the employers that want to recruit those students. So I have kind of a dual role there. But I've been in this field for 15 years now,
Oh,
working in a couple of different offices, all within career development, helping people answer those same questions.
great. Well, you answered my first question, which was how long have you worked at OSU? We kind of thought we'd I've been doing more and more of these interviews, and I was interested specifically for talking to you in the broad topic of redefining yourself in times of challenge, especially.
Yes.
This is something you do on a daily basis, but it's even more relevant now than ever because of the current environment. With like 26 million people now
Oh,
on
I know. I know.
unemployed. What you have to look at people and give them advice every day on helping them understand their true potential, on helping them realize skill sets they have that they might not quite be aware of. What's the best bit? What's the best bit of advice you could give someone right now?
Um,
Or
I
causes?
Sure. Oh, yeah. So I think in this stage where you have just faced some sort of loss, either your internship has been taken away, your full-time offer has been taken away, you've been laid off. There's a whole lot of identity that's tied up in career, um, especially for Americans. That's one of the first questions we ask when you're meeting somebody new. Oh, hi. What do you do for a living? So there's a huge loss, not just the income, but identity, structure to your day, just so much grief and loss. Um, so I think the best piece of advice is um, it's okay to face that loss. It's okay to sit with it, and you don't have to come up with a brand new solution, the very next day. Just take a little time, take a breath, because you are facing a big change. Even if it's a change, even if you end up staying within your same industry and just moving to a different company, it's a big change. So give yourself permission to kind of process that, and understand that while you are processing that, you have value. You are not all of a sudden worthless just because you don't have the same job or any job. You
Yeah.
have intrinsic value, and you're going to get through it.
Great. Great. Self-help books are more and more popular. I'm sure a lot of people are turning to them now in this
Yeah.
current environment. I just finished reading Never Eat Alone.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
what do you have a favorite self-help book or a couple you really like to
I do.
rely
I
on?
My absolute favorite one is Susan Jeffers. She wrote "Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway." It's so, I mean, the title is self-explanatory. It's
Yeah.
wonderful. It's because this is not easy. It's not easy to go through any sort of transition, and there is a lot of fear and anxiety that can be produced for people, and it's okay to feel that and still take action, still just take that next step forward. You don't have to know, 10 steps down the road what your path is going to look like, one step at a time, but you do have to take action still. You can't let fear get the best of you, so that you're immobilized.
Okay, so that actually segues very nicely into my next question, which was,
All right, I'm doing
people
well.
people talk about this new normal, things getting back to normal, but we don't really know what normal looks like. So is now the perfect time to kind of reinvent yourself if you're looking, um, if you're looking for a reason to change career paths, or take start your own business, or whatever it might be. um,
Yeah, yeah, I absolutely agree it is. So even if you haven't been forced into this process by facing some sort of job loss or furlough or what have you, um, even if your job is stable, as we know, stable right now, um, I think it is the perfect time because there's so much attention right now on taking care of yourself and getting back to basics of what's most important to you. So I think just like the culture right now, there seems to be kind of a shift that more people are doing this right now. 26 million people are going to need to do this right now. Um, so yeah, I think it's the perfect time. Um, so there are a lot of resources out there. I would say, start with whatever you can. Getting back to the very beginnings of who am I, what's important to me, coming up with kind of a personal mission statement, a self-assessment, looking at your values, things that aren't really going to change no matter what job you have. Your values are going to stay the same.
yeah.
So getting back in touch with what are those things that are just so central to me, that is my identity, no matter what job I have on top of that. I think that can be really powerful to do right now.
You said you've been doing this for over a decade, and so is there any experience you can pull on that might be applicable from the Great Recession? I guess would kind of be the last comparable seismic event. Any advice you think might be applicable here of how people got out of that?
Yeah, I think the number one thing that helped people during that time and would also help people now is the idea of just being adaptable. That whatever you have been preparing for, up until this point, it's okay to shift and do something different. Your career is never set in stone, never. People change all the times for all kinds of reasons, and that's okay. It's not a bad thing to change or to just change your mind and say, yes, even though I've gotten this far, I don't want to do that next step. I want to look over here. That's okay to do. So again, just kind of giving yourself permission to figure out what is really important to you. And it's okay if you don't have one passion that since age 5 I've known for sure that I've wanted to do this. It's okay to not have that. It's okay to just take time to explore and see what are my interests now, my skills now, my values now, and then see what are some different careers that would be a good fit for that.
Okay. My last question here is a silly one.
Ooh,
Uh,
okay.
would I ask all my interviewees this for a final question? Would you rather fight 100 duck-sized horses or one horse-sized duck?
Ooh, interesting. Okay. Hmm. I'm gonna say one horse-sized dove, because at least if you have one thing that is attacking you, um, you can at least you know where the attack is going to
Yeah.
come from.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
can face it
Great.
head on, just like your job search. Face it head on. Ah, like that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thanks for bringing it full circle, and thanks for taking the time. This was something I definitely wanted to talk about. Great.
Excellent. Well, thank you for having me. I really enjoyed this.
Absolutely. Thanks, Allison.
Okay.